One of the reasons I identify with, or really like weeds, identify with them I suppose, is because I have felt myself to be like a marginalised person. I mean, I've spent most of my life as a single person, living on my own, and people don't know how to relate to that, and you sort of feel like an outcast. I mean, a little bit. You feel like an outcast, like you don't really fit society, and I feel that the weeds are like that. The weeds are the outcasts of the plant world. My wish is that people come to understand the value of wild green edibles and their place in our lives. I started taking an interest in weeds about 4 years ago after some serious health challenges, and I thought I'd try making green smoothies with wild weeds as well as leafy greens, and it's proved to be a wonderful learning journey and learning more and more about weeds, and I've come to have a huge respect for them. I live in a very modern a suburb with very big fancy houses where all the gardens are basically immaculately kept, clipped lawns, hedges, not a weed in sight, hardly a flower in sight. And one of my neighbours walked past the other day and she said, "You're an icon on the street," and I took that as a positive compliment, that they're always interested in what's growing and flowering and what insects are coming to the garden. As my interest in weeds and using them in smoothies grew, I appreciated the weeds more, so I just left more when I didn't need that piece of ground or in between the vegetables. I wasn't so worried about having a clean bed all the time, and I just have grown to really love the space the weeds take and the way, and watching them, their life cycle. They are really tenacious, they grow exuberantly, they are survivors, they are opportunists, they don't require any care or attention, they're just there. Like, look at this, how healthy that is, and man has done nothing for that. The way that I share my passion for weeds is through workshops. I work with my friend Jane. I've been running workshops from Jane's beautiful property in Papamoa, and I take people on weed walks and show them the weeds through experience. I get them to touch, feel, observe, and get to know how the weeds look like, what the stems look like, compare different weed stems and leaves, so that they get to really know the weeds and they become personal friends, I find. Well, my lifestyle approach to gardening is to make gardening easy and relaxing, rather than feeling stressed about having it immaculate and no weeds. I used to be like that, and I used to think, because that's the way you're brought up and that's the way everyone does it. But I've found that having a bigger garden, I can't do that, and the more I've left the weeds, the more I've enjoyed them, and they bring all the insects, they bring the bees, they bring the butterflies, and they're making gardening so much more relaxing and low maintenance. Many people tell me that they find this garden very inspiring because once you know all the weeds that you can eat, there is so much food here and you wouldn't go hungry. My favourite weed is probably chickweed, because it's so versatile and it's very tender and delicious. It's crunchy, tasty. I feel like I found my passion in life, which is sharing about these plants with people so that they get all fired up about how they can help themselves and what they've got growing around them. The great benefits of green smoothies are you're taking something really fresh, like you are picking it straight out of the garden, and you're filling yourself up with enzymes and vitamins and antioxidants and omega omega-3s and fibre. We need lots of fibre, soluble and insoluble. You get tons of nutrition from these wild edibles. They have more nutrition than cultivated vegetables. If you change your mindset and give them a chance and see them in a new light, because you can benefit nutritionally, you can benefit aesthetically, and I just think this is a whole new way of approaching plants. I love wild weeds. They're my friends.